Everybody, Rose Matter here, and welcome to part 90 of my Umineko Let's Play. The last episode, Angie finished her Halloween princess riddle extravaganza, and now with all of the information that we have been given from the characters, she has gone off into sleep. So maybe this is the moment where she has to make her ultimate decision. I don't know. Some of the characters being a little bit more blatant than others. I feel like especially George and Jessica at the end, talking to Angie about her decision. The general thing being basically forgive Ava, don't believe the information you may have heard later in life, and learning to forgive, all that stuff. So now with Angie in her sleep, I guess we'll see what Battler has in store for her as part of this game. So let's go right ahead, let's jump back into the story, and let's see what happens next. After putting Angie to sleep in the parlor, Genji and the others returned.
ありがとう。よく眠ってたか。
はい、よくお休みになっております。
ここでの騒ぎは、客間へは届かぬか。
はい、扉も閉めておりますし、客間には届かないと思います。
エンジェ、いい夢。
さーて。
But she's like, time for the real party to start.
しんみりしたお別れ会はこれまでであるぞ。
Because this isn't just for Angie, this is for all of the pieces, I guess, as well, to, have their final goodbyes and make peace and all that stuff, have a good time.
さあ、ここからは盛大に行こうぞ。
Time for the adult party. Well, and Maria. When Beato clapped her hands loudly above her head, a white flash filled the hall, and its entire appearance changed in an instant. The hall had transformed into a golden party chamber, with gold butterflies flitting about and gold leaf dancing everywhere.
さあ、ここからは賑やかに行こうではないか。
そういうことだな。さあ、もう半魔法の毒素は一切なしだぜ。みんな、入ってきてくれ。
Oh, is it going to be all of the characters, the stakes and the goat people, all of them are going to be showing up?
俺たちのお疲れ様パーティーの始まりだぜ。
With a burst of applause and cheering, a tornado of gold butterflies rose up in the center of the room. By the time it passed, the number of faces had grown significantly. We're gonna get Ronave and Gap, maybe too? People we haven't seen in a while, eh? And Vergalia?
未来の魔女に幸あらんことを。そして過去の私たちにはねぎらいを。ですね。
でございますな。今宵は我らも楽しませていただきましょう。
今宵に限らず、いつも楽しんでおったではないか。
世の中、万事は楽しんだもの勝ちでございますよ。
さあ、七姉妹もいらっしゃい。煉獄の七姉妹、ここに。もうこれでゲームが終わりなんて。
I'm feeling a little bit like that. Without the crying, but it is a little sad to think about how it's going to be over soon.
二次会で泣かないの。もうこの泣き虫。バトラ卿、ベアトリーチェ様、お招きを感謝します。
6歳のエンジェ様の寝顔を独り占めしたい。私はお料理全部独り占めしたい。じゃあ私はいい男を全部独り占め。
そこでなぜバトラにしがみつく。離れんか泥棒猫。
よく来たな、煉獄の七姉妹。盛大に楽しんでくれ。
やはり彼女らがやってくると急に賑やかになりますな。
賑やか、大いに結構ではないか。それにまだまだ足りぬぞ。この程度で賑やかとはな。
Man, you forget just how many characters are in this game. Damn, another gold cyclone rose up. In its wake, 3 people with bunny ears came into view.
シエスタ姉妹この得体ここに
このようなお席にお呼びいただけましたことを光栄に思います。全然遊び足りないうちにもうおしまいに。
それについてはわらわも同感であるぞ。しかし安心せよ、わらわたちのゲームはまだまだ続くぞ。
猫箱の中で永遠にな。よく来てくれたシエスタ姉妹。
バトラ卿、ご招待を心より感謝するものであります。我ら一同今後ますますに。
よせやい、そういう堅苦しいのはよ。今夜はブレイコーだぜ、ブレイコー。
そういうことにバトラは分かってるに。ダメです410。羽目を外しすぎです。怒られます。
はーいリーチェ、ご無沙汰ね。すごいわ、これだけ揃うのはいつ以来かしら。夏日の法廷以来ではないか。
That's true, yeah. Except it was a lot less of a nice affair. Oh, I wonder, Bernkastel and Lambda Delta, will they show up too? That doesn't seem like that's likely.
あの時は到底賑やかとは言い難かったがな。
I'm trying to think, like, almost everybody's here, but we are missing some people. Oh, and them too. Holy cow.
私たちの出番がないとは言わせない。
すげえぜ、一体何人いるんだよ。
この調子で増えたら僕たち人間の方が少なくなってしまいそうだね。
もう出てきて大丈夫だよ。
Sakataro! Haven't seen him in forever. Oh, and how could I forget Delanor?
お招き預かり光栄です。
金系光栄なるものと知り立てまつるものなり。
よく来てくれたな。久しぶりだぜ。元気だったか。
元気です。あなたたちと戦っている時が一番です。反抗士はもうやりたくないです。
金系上司ドラノール、決済箱は山積みであると知りたまえ。
金系我が悠久申請の決済を急ぎたまえ。切に望むものなりや。相変わらず大法院暮らしは窮屈であるものよ。
バトラー卿、少しだけ残念なお知らせがあります。
どうした？
Delanor held out an envelope. It was one of the invitation cards that Battler had sent out for this night's party. The name on the card was for Erica. Oh. Erica!
手は尽くしたのです。
She's still a little salty. I forgot about her too. Oh my god. The invitation was filled with stamps bearing the unreadable words of various foreign countries. Even without reading them, it was easy to guess it had been returned to sender, destination unknown.
そうか、苦労かけたな。
I just like the idea of, like, not that they couldn't reach her, but she was just so mad at Battler still and salty that she's like, I don't want to come to your stupid party.
忘却の深淵は住所なき無限の砂漠、あるいは深海の底。ベルンカステル教以外の誰にも彼女の居場所を知ることはできないのです。
一応あの魔女どもにも招待状は送った。気を利かせて連れてきてくれりゃいいんだがな。
ベルンカステル教は猫のような御人よ。自分に興味があれば勝手に寄ってくるが、興味がなければいくら呼ぼうとも姿を現さぬ。
There's Lambda
そう
Delta.
ね、あの子はまさに猫。餌は食べに来るけど決して頭は撫でさせない。
ラムダデルタ、お前は来てくれたんだな。
私こう見えても全然暇じゃないのよね。でもまあ一応ベアとの後見人だし、あんたの後見人も私じゃなかったっけ。まあそんなわけでギリよギリ。 くまで来たから寄っただけ。ああ、そこのゴーダ、これ手土産にいろいろ持ってきたの。適当に盛り付けて出しちゃってもらえる？
For someone who just dropped by because she was in the neighborhood, she had brought an awful lot of colorfully wrapped bottles and food boxes.
ベルンカステルはまだ来ていない。
来ないんじゃない？
I feel like she will, right maybe at the last minute.
負けたゲームにのこのこと顔を出す子じゃないわよ。
であろうな。何しろプライドの高い御人だ。
あいつにゃ散々な目に遭わされたような気もするが、それでもこのゲームに関わったプレイヤーの一人のはず。最後のゲームの最後の夜をのんびり祝ってもいいのにと思ったんだが。
そうね、あの子がいなかったらこのゲームはこの結末を迎えなかったかもね。敵も味方もゲームを成立させるための絶対要素よ。
そうであるな。敵がいなければゲームにさえならぬ。
私は敗北さえもゲームの一部として楽しんでるけれどね。あの子はそうじゃない。仕方ないわ、いろいろあったから。だからあの子を責めないであげて。
本当は感謝するつもりだった。いろいろあったが、お前がいなかったら今日を迎えられなかったと。
ありがとう。今度あの子に会えるのがいつかはわからないけれど、運が良ければ数百年後にはまた会えるわ。その時伝えてあげる。そうそう、それはそうと、招待状はないんだけれど、
Oh,
今日
who are the
お
two
客を連れ
guests?
てきたわ。
Trying to think, who could the two guests be who didn't get invitations? I'm trying to think of who might be missing, who Battler wouldn't give invitations to.
客？誰だ？心当たりには軒並み招待状を送ったつもりだったんだが。
Even Battler doesn't know.
いらっしゃい、二人とも紹介するわ。
Oh, of course. Oh, it's so good to see them again. Oh, because I really like them, especially Will. He's awesome. When Lambda snapped her fingers, the empty air exploded and two figures appeared.
ウィラードではありませんか。
よう、相変わらず小せえな。
知らぬ客人だ。彼らは何者であるか。
いてててつねるなシリ。
まず自己紹介が先ではありませんか。多分この世界のバトラ君たちは私たちのことを知りませんので。
服に片翼のわし
That
があ
must.
る。
Oh, this is gonna be wild for Battler to be like, what? There's like a, you know, an alternate version of Beatrice?
後ろ宮家の人間なのか？
後ろ宮リオンと申します。私の世界ではあなたとは仲のいいいとこ同士です。
紹介するわ。奇跡的確率の世界でのみ生まれる後ろ宮家の次期当主よ。そこではジェシカは一人っ子じゃない、リオンの妹なのよ。
そりゃ驚いた。そんな世界があるのか。
Oh, Beato. Oh my gosh, that's right. Like she doesn't realize. She understands the ramifications of this. Oh, because she's like, right, unfamiliar guest. She doesn't know about Leon.
もしやそなたは。
And she went to like her little voice again. Like not her Beatrice voice, but
はじめまして、ベアトリーチェ。私はあなたのことをよく知っていますよ。私にとってあなたが幸せな笑顔を浮かべることは何。今夜を迎えられたあなたを私は誰よりも祝福します。
そうか、そなたなのか。よくぞ来てくれた。
Beato realized who and what Leon was. The two of them stared at each other's faces, as though looking at their own face in a mirror.
俺はウィラード。あんたの知らないゲームで巻き込まれたただの通りすが
He's
り
like, I'm just here for the food.
彼は私と同じ大法院の異端審問官です。優秀でしたがもう引退を。
そうか。ドラノールの友人なら悪いやつじゃないな。ようこそ。歓迎するぜ。
I feel like Will looks like, I said it before, like he looks like, just like Leon is an alternate universe, Beatrice, Will to me is like an alternate universe Battler. I think it's just the hair, mostly.
この二人は一体どこから。
ベルンが連れてきて駒にしたのよ。 用済みにされて潰されかけたところを私が預かったの。後味が悪いのは嫌だって。
Oh, Featherin.
母に言われてね。
She gonna make an appearance too?
大丈夫であるか。もし万一ベルンカステル教がここに来るようなことが
Does
あった
Battler
ら
know about Featherin?
このゲーム版の上では私の駒よ。こんなところでひょっこり再会したらあの子がどんな表情を浮かべるか見てみたくて。
よくわからんが、性悪なことを考えて連れてきたってことは理解したぜ。
私の手土産はこれで終わり。あとはのんびりくつろがせてもらうわ。じゃあとはホストのあんたに譲るわね。
さあバトラ教、
あなたが告げなきゃ始まらない。
今宵の長きにわたるゲームのお疲れ様パーティーの始まりよ。
諸君静粛に。我らが領主バトラ教のお言葉であるぞ。
よせやいそれ。なんか
妻の大事な
Oh,
仕事で
wife's
あろうが
responsibility. Hmm?
回せはせん。
Beato sulked and handed Battler a glass of champagne. In fact, everyone had a glass in their hands. I guess they were sort of the end of that one episode. I guess they were married. I keep forgetting about all the wild stuff that happened in these games. It's hard to keep track.
マリアもシャンパンがいい。
ほらマリアちゃんも僕とお揃いのジュースにしよう。
バトラー、ぬるくなっちまうぞ。
同感であるな。始めよバトラー。
異議はありませんな。さあこちらへどうぞバトラ教。
Renove motioned toward the center of the room. When Battler stepped forward, everyone silently awaited his words.
よく集まってくれたな。長かった俺とベアとのゲームはこれで全ておしまいだ。これまで駒としてプレイヤーとしてあるいはゲームマスターとして関わってきたみんなを
I'm
この世
waiting.
は招待させていただいた。
I'm waiting for Bernkastel to just stroll in right now and interrupt him.
どうか明けぬ夜を存分に楽しんでほしい。
Cheers. Everyone raised their glasses to the heavens as they cheered, and afterward, the soft sound of glasses clinking together rang out across the room. This is the sad music. Only I was apart from all the fun noise. Maybe that was what did it. Before I realized it, my cheeks were wet with tears. I was lying on a sofa covered by a blanket. I can just barely remember getting sleepy and falling asleep in a chair. Someone probably carried me here. I can't actually hear them, but I get the feeling everyone's still in the hall having a good time. I want to go there too. No, I will go. Over there. It's what I've wanted this whole time, but I've never tried to take the first step. I'll go to where everyone is. My head still feels hazy, so there aren't any complicated thoughts in my mind. But that's okay. It's okay if my head's empty. I'll be together with everyone. I'll go to where they are. That's all that matters. I'm guessing she's going to be blocked off from their world because of the anti-magic toxin if she doesn't believe in magic. I got up from the sofa and put on my shoes, which had been placed neatly for me to find. Let's go, to where everyone is. The parlor door was shut. I tried to open it, but maybe because of my clumsiness, I couldn't get it open. It was a bit creepy, though the bad dream I just had was continuing.
開かない。どうして？鍵はかかってないのに。
This was beginning to irritate me. The knob that locks and unlocks the door is on this side. I should be able to lock or unlock the door by twisting it. I turned it. Click. The door won't open. Oh, this is like the thing that kept Battler shut in that room. Did I accidentally lock it just now? I turned it. Click. The door won't open. It didn't open the last time, so it should have opened this time, but it didn't. Now I have no idea which way is unlocked. I kept on alternating between turning the lock and roughly twisting the doorknob. Started to become genuinely annoyed, wondering why they'd lock me away behind such an inconvenient door. Eventually, I ran out of patience and pounded hard on the door, but that noise didn't bring anyone over. Why am I locked up in a place like this all alone? And everyone else is having a fun party right there in the hall. Let me out of here. Oh, creepy eternal chains. Yep, that's the, this is like... It was so happy, and now, like, I wasn't expecting this creepy music in this game. At that moment, a cold wind blew past me. Is that Bernkastel? The wind rippled through my hair. Wind? Inside? I turned around to find the window curtain waving about. There was a high-pitched squeal. At some point, the double window had opened outwards toward the darkness. The icy wind that came through it told me that this window was the only exit from this room. There she is. Huh? I suddenly realized the darkness beyond the open window was glaring at me, and my tiny heart leapt. A cute jingling sound rang out. I finally understood. That sound was a cat's bell. The glaring emerald eyes in the darkness were those of a cat standing in the open window. Its pitch black, luxuriant fur blended in with the darkness easily, leaving only the eyes visible. Did the Ushirmiya family own a cat? It has a bell on it, so it can't be a stray. It's a cat someone owns. At any rate, the cat was standing by the window and staring straight at me. Of course, the cat didn't answer my question. I didn't think it was a cute cat, but I thought it might be trying to tell me something, so I approached it slowly. Then the cat did an about-face, turning its back to me. It then turned its head to look at me, almost as though it was telling me to follow it, and leapt into the darkness, leaving the jingle of its bell behind. That can't be good. That can't be good. I feel like Bernkastel would not be leading her to anything positive, unless it's trying to tell her the quote-unquote the truth of something, because she's always been about, like, wanting to undo Battler's game, right? When I peeked out the window, I saw the cat waiting for me under the pounding rain. I finally realized this window was the only exit out of this locked room parlor. The cat had surely come to tell me that. The longer I kept standing around here, the longer the cat will have to wait in the rain. That's no good. It'll catch cold. I climbed up onto the windowsill and went out the window. The wind was strong and the rain was cold, but I didn't get as wet as I thought I would. I might have been in the mansion's shadow. When the cat saw I was outside, it walked along the wall of the mansion as if guiding me. It quickly disappeared into the blackness, but every now and then it would turn around and set the bell jingling to let me know it was there. I'm guessing maybe, like, if Battler is showing the happy side, you know, the ideal world, Bernkastel is going to show the other side. Like, Battler's trying to pull Angie one way to make a decision, and Bernkastel is gonna, you know, pull her the other way. Like, this is Bernkastel's final attempt at, like, winning the game after losing to Battler last time, because we know she doesn't like losing. She's a little salty still. Eventually, a window with light seeping out came into view. It was the window to the hall. When I peeked inside, I saw everyone having a good time. I couldn't hear their voices, but they were all right there. Will Angie see? I don't think she'll be able to see all of the fantastical, you know, witches and everything, because she's got the anti-magic toxin. Is Bernkastel trying to be like, look, your brother doesn't want you around? I pounded on the window, but no one heard. Maybe the window was really thick, or maybe it was just noisy inside. Or it might have been so dark outside that even I blended in with the darkness. In any event, no matter how much I hit the window, it didn't look as though anyone noticed. By this point, my loneliness was giving way to anger. Oh yes, Bernkastel is. She's trying to, like, turn her against Battler. Why don't you notice me? Why did you lock me up in that room all alone? I've had enough. I'll just get inside somehow and yell at everyone. When the cat realized I'd given up knocking on the window, it led me onwards with another jingle. But just where is this cat going? I know it's following the wall of the mansion, but that's not the way to the front door. The front door might be locked. I'm sure the cat knows a place I can get into the mansion from, and is leading me there. Away from the light seeping from the hall, and towards the blackness lit only dimly by the lights in the garden, the cat and I continued to walk. Then I found it. An open window. The cat stood below it and looked between me and the window as though telling me to go inside. When I walked closer to pick the cat up, it slipped away from my hands and flew into the bushes in a nearby flower bed. Then, as though it really had melted away into the darkness inside the bush, all traces of it vanished. No matter how much I strained my ears, I couldn't hear the sound of that bell. Suddenly, the wind changed direction, and the rain started to hit me fiercely. I can't stay in a place like this forever.
灰色どこの部屋だろう。
I climbed up onto the windowsill and entered the room. Then the window silently shut and locked itself. Good, that saves me the trouble of doing it myself. The room was completely dark. However, as my eyes got used to the darkness, I was able to make out a few things. It was a large room. There was a long table and many chairs. It was the dining hall. Perhaps because I realized this and was relieved, I was suddenly unable to see again. I searched blindly along the wall for the light switch. Oh, I wonder if she's going to turn it on and there's going to be like a bunch of dead bodies. And just thinking of like that one game where there was the massacre in the dining hall. Wouldn't it be annoying if I pushed this and the light didn't come on? Click. In fact, it was nearly the opposite. An annoyingly bright light filled the dining hall and made my eyes hurt. I slowly opened my tightly shut eyes. And then I saw the state the room was in. Ooh, maybe. Yes! Yes! Called it. The dining hall was covered with blood, and there were people, many people, lying on the floor. It was too good to be true, guys. Like, the whole time so far with this little party and everything, it seemed too pleasant. And I was like, well, maybe because this is the last game, it's for Angie. You know, like, it's gonna be a happy tale for once, but no, we can't have that, can we? Then I realized 2 of them were my own parents.
Yeah, 盛り上がっているかい参加者諸君。
盛り上がらない子は私たちが食べちゃうわ。
騒げや歌えや今宵の主演を
The hall was alive with a mingling of humans and residents of magical fantasy. At first, everyone stayed with their own groups, too nervous to mingle. Ooh, I realized if Bernkastel showed up, or at least, you know, like, the cat representing her, does that mean Erica might come back too? To have her revenge? Or is she long gone at this point? However, as time passed, people started to move around, and both halves began to chat happily together.
とにかく言うことを聞かないのよね、基本的に。
リーダーシップが大事だと思うんや。背中で語らにゃ部下はついてこんで。
それでついてくる部下なら問題はないのだが、一筋縄ではいかん。
とにかくね、部下には舐められたらおしまいなのよ。たまには小さなミスをわざとらしくみんなの前で大声で叱責するのも。
Wow, Rosa sounds like a great boss, doesn't she? I mean, that's the way she treats her child. She's probably, like, if she's in charge of people because she's got her design company. I was just like, man, I hate to work for her. Yeah. What's that whole thing, like, about good management is you praise in public and you criticize in like, privates, you know? Basically, like, speak well of them in front of people, but if you have to, like, if you have to criticize them or admonish them or punish them or whatever, you don't do it in front of people. The Vegeta Lion expounded his views on leadership to the attentive ears of those around him. Everyone was now pleasantly drunk and unusually animated in conversation.
どうしてキリエは嫉妬すればするほど強くなるの？
人聞き悪いことを言わないで。私は欲しいものを逃さない。それを常に実践してるだけなんだから。
さあさあ、お待たせしました。まだまだお料理は続きますよ。
勝手に当家のパーティーを仕切って。しかし悔しいですが、身のこなしすべてに隙がありません。一体どこのホテルで修行を。
仕方 ロノウェ様は完璧魔人だもん。でも私はゴーダの方が好きよ。これ焼き加減最高だってば。
The seven sisters had blended into the party perfectly and were making things interesting.
しかしですな、バンダイン20足で否定されつつも名作と呼ばれるミステリー
Oh, he's probably talking to Delanor, right?
別に否定してる
Or
わけじゃ
Will?
ねえ。ミステリーなんて所詮は娯楽。楽しんだもん勝ちだ。
あのウィザードハンティングライトも随分と丸くなったものと知るものなりや。
文学も娯楽も時代に応じて作法が変わることもあります。推理小説もまた同じということでしょう。
After Will explained his stance on mystery novels, everyone had a comment to make. The conversation showed no sign of running dry.
確かに新人の心構えはそうあるべきだ。だがそれではいつまでも中堅にはなれんね。
しかしながら規則は遵守すべきものであると知りたまえ。そんなものは新しき新人が守ればいい。規則など新人用のテンプレートであることを忘れてはならんぞ。
そういうこった。ルールの外での働き方を覚えて、ようやく一人前なんだぜ。
Yeah, but don't follow too outside the rules like Rudolph.
ルールに縛られてるうちはまだまだ半人前だな。
私、仕事を人に譲るのも耐えられないの。私は強欲のマモン。仕事はみんな私が独り占めにしちゃうわ。
あなたいい根性じゃない。煉獄の七姉妹ってお給金どのくらい？うちの主人の会社に入りなさいよ。推薦してあげるから。
The humans and residents of Fantasy were now completely on casual terms.
なるほど。これが魔女の世界のお作法なのですか。
そうにそうに。カップのお茶をお皿に垂らし、両手の手のひらをテーブルに押し付けて、お皿のお茶を犬みたいにチューチュー吸うのが我々のお作法に。
あんた何変なこと教えてんのよ。そんなお作法あるわけないでしょ。夏日も騙されてんじゃないわよスカポンタ。いい年して。こらサタン、夏日さんに向かってなんて失礼な。なんで泣き出すんですか。サタン、私そんなに厳しく叱りましたか。
シエスタ410さん、純粋な母に二度と妙なことを吹き込まないように。大丈夫。後にならない程度に加減してあります。
Leon just coming around pinching butts everywhere she goes. 410 started yelling about animal abuse, jumping around in circles and holding her butt.
私の王子様、どこかにいないかな。アスモはね、燃えるような恋がしたいの。恋をしたらマリアも素敵なお姫様になれるかな。
なれるとも。恋は奇跡だ、パワーだ、ミネラルだ。無敵の力を与えてくれるのだ。愛は色欲なんだよって言ってた人が何か言ってるわ。
うん、きっと毎晩色欲三昧に違いないぞ。
That is funny because that's how Beato back then she was when she was so angry at Shannon. Now that we understand that they're different parts of each other, about how, like, you know, men are just after one thing and love is lust and he only cares about your body. Love is stupid, essentially. The circle surrounding Beato was always a lively one.
わかるよ、その気持ち。僕たちは誰かに命令されて初めて生きる価値が生まれる。
私、命令がないと不安なんです。誰か私に何か命じてください。じゃないと死んじゃいます。
そんな根性じゃダメだぜ。自分の生きる価値は自分で生み出す。自分で切り開く。
を持たないとダメよ。私が人間やってた頃はそりゃあがむしゃらに生きてたわよ。
A bit shakily, Lambda Delta started talking about her theory of life. Apparently, she'd also had her fair share of champagne.
なんとも摩訶不思議な光景です。そうですね。ドラノール様、おかわりはいかがですか？ジュースならもらいます。子供ですので。
お、シャノンちゃんでいいや。ちょっといいかい？
Battler came back into the hall. He was searching for a servant, and the first one his eyes met was Shannon. Oh, he can't. I'm guessing maybe he went to check up on Angie and he can't find her.
はい、バトラ様、お呼びでしょうか。
悪いんだけどさ、客間の鍵を貸してくれるかい？
客間でございますか？マスターキーでも開きますが、何か。
いや、エンジェは眠ってるかなと思って客間に行ってきたんだが、鍵がかかってたんだ。
鍵ですか？私たちはエンジ様をソファーにお運びした後、扉は閉めておりますが、鍵は閉めておりません。
It's like the opposite of a locked room situation, though I guess it is kind of a locked... It now is a locked room situation. God damn it, even in the last chapter, we can't get away from locked rooms, can we?
自分だけ仲間外れにされたと思って、内側から鍵を閉めていじけてやがんのか。やれやれ。
お開けしましょうか？
そうだな。すまん。
I wonder if Battler will realize with her being gone, maybe it'll be like, oh, Bernkastel has something to do with this, or he'll just assume she was able to get out.
頼めるか？
Battler and Shannon left the hall together. In the hall, Lambda Delta started suggesting they all have another quiz tournament together. Apparently, the Witch of Certainty would be handing out prizes. Oh boy, am I going to do more? Probably not. Everyone seemed enthusiastic about the idea. Smiling contentedly at the ensuing uproar, Battler headed towards the parlor.
鍵がかかっておりますね。開けてよろしいですか？
寝ていたら悪いからとノックはしなかったんだが、鍵をかけたってことは起きたって証拠だしな。一度ノックするか。
Battler knocked on the door and called Angie's name. However, there was no response from the other side. He pressed his ear against the door, listening carefully, but there was no hint of Angie unhappily throwing a cushion at it.
一通りへそを曲げてから、また寝ちまったのかもな。開けてくれるか。
かしこまりました。
Shannon took out her master key and unlocked the door. Then she stepped back to let Battler go through.
Angie, 入るぞ。
Speaking in a quiet voice to avoid waking Angie as if she was asleep, Battler opened the door. Then, just as the door was opened, a chilly breeze drifted by. The breeze, which felt like outside air, immediately caught the attention of the pair, and they looked at each other. It could be seen at a glance that Angie wasn't in the parlor. Curtains to the wide-open window fluttered about.
Angie? Angie?
He didn't expect this in his game, did he? A blanket lay crumpled up on the sofa. It sat there just as Angie had left it after waking up. The blanket was slightly warm. Clearly, she'd been here until a short while ago.
Angie-様、いらっしゃいませんか?
She obviously wasn't playing hide and seek. Angie was nowhere to be seen in the parlor. Battler peered out the open window into the rainy blackness. He slipped out the window in this rain and went where?
Angie 様は窓から出て行かれたというのでしょうか?
寝ぼけるにちょいと程があるな。
Since she didn't leave via the main entrance, she probably doesn't even have an umbrella. It was very hard to imagine any reason Angie could have for going outside in this weather. I have a bad feeling about this. This shouldn't be happening. I'm the game master of this game board. Bernkastel's like, not anymore, bitch. So why are we in a situation that the game master can't understand? A large bolt of lightning lit up my surroundings for an instant, but I was unable to see any trace of Angie.
じゃあ次は私が問題を出す番ね。ワンホールの3分の1のケーキと4分の1のケーキと5分の1のケーキがお皿に乗ってるの。ワンホールを食べるのに30分かかるとして、食べ終わった時お皿にケーキはいくつあるでしょう。
At that moment, there was a roar of thunder and the lights flickered. Cheery voices vanished in an instant, like candles being blown out.
0個でしょ。
Oh, she makes her
あんた
arrival.
に引っ掛けられた問題じゃない。
It's like, what did Lambda Delta say? Like, Bernkastel's the type, like, she won't come until she feels like it. And she makes a hell of an entrance. Amidst the silence, one voice rang out and answered Lambda's riddle. Will Erica be with her? The crowd parted, and the form of a girl, a 1,000-year-old witch, came into view. She had been invited. She was an official guest holding an invitation to this party. That was Battler's mistake, trying to be a good person and, like, hold out an olive branch.
遅刻してごめんなさい。
I mean, if she hadn't been given an invitation, she probably would have showed up anyway.
パーティーを盛り上げる催しの準備をしていたら、すっかり遅くなってしまって。
As Bernkastel spoke, she looked around at everyone. Yeah, they've got some bad memories of her.
あら、かけらの海で朽ち果てたと思っていたら。
今は私の駒よ。素敵でしょ。
She stared at Leon and Will with an unnerving smile on her face, but she apparently lost interest quickly.
バトラーはどこ？ベアトは？招待客が来たのよ。出迎えてほしいものだわ。
俺はここだ。
Where's Beato?
そなた
there.
を招きはした。だが、来るとは思わなかったのでな。
She's that guest that you have to invite out of obligation, but you secretly don't want them to show up.
なるほど。これは奇跡というわけだ。
うまいことを言うじゃない。何をみんな静まり返っているの？パーティーでしょ？わざとらしいくらいに賑やかにしてちょうだい。それとも私を沈黙で迎えるという余興なの？
今度はお前の番だ。
何が？
バトラーはどこだとお前は尋ねた。だから俺はここだと答えた。次はお前の番だ。
何の話だ？何かあったのか？
エンジェが消えた。ゲームマスターの俺にさえどこに行ったかわからない。
そんなバカな。これはそなたのゲームであろう。そんなことがあるわけがない。
エンジが消えたのがゲームマスターバトラのシナリオでないならば、ゲームマスターが他にいることになるわ
Oh
ね。
shit. Uno reverse, Bernkastel's like, I'm the game master, and I made a game to make you think that you were the game master, but secretly it was me all along. Can you have two game
そのような
masters?
ことがあるというのか。
ええ、私も驚いてるわ。胸がすくような楽しいゲームを始めようとゲーム版を広げたら、全く同時にバトラもおかしなゲームを始めていたというわけ。ゲームマスターが2人なんておかしなこともあるものね。
それはつまりお前がエンジェをどこかに隠したと認めたということだな。
そうなるな。ゲームマスターのバトラの描いていないシナリオが生み出せるのは、もう一人のゲームマスター殿しかいないということになるのだから。
パーティーを盛り上げる催しの準備ってやつ？
ラムダたちはクイズ大会で楽しく盛り上がってたわね。だから私もそれに加わることにしたわ。
Is the riddle like, you have to find out where Angie is?
エンジェはその人質のつもりというわけか。
そういうことよ。バトラ、ベアト、あなたたちにゲームを挑みたいの。拒否権はないわ。エンジェが大事な妹ならね。
何が望みだ？
あんたとベアトを巡るゲームで私はラムダと賭けをしていた。それには私は負けたことを認めなくてはならない。少なくともラムダにはね。
ベルンってドラえ うに見えてなかなか執念深いのね。つまりこういうことでしょ。私には負けたけど、バトラやベアトに負けたわけじゃない。
It seemed as though Bernkastel might smile. However, she didn't. Those cold eyes spoke without words. Battler understood. He had played so many games against Beato. Those games had been a wordless message from Beato. So he knew. He understood.
俺たちと勝負したい。
Ooh, we gonna have an actual fight? Haven't had one of those in a while.
そういうことか。
Probably not a physical fight, but more like a mental fight.
恐ろしい敵であるぞ。
But hey, if we get like an actual, like, true battle like we've had in other ones, I'm down for that. I've kind of missed those.
だが引けない。
分かっておる。
Or it just could be like a riddle contest.
エンジェをベルンカステル教のおもちゃにさせるわけにはいかぬ。
Beato understood as well. She understood Bernkastel's desire for one final battle.
ベルンが正々堂々となんてね。
笑えば。
どうして？
ありがとう。
Lambda Delta understood as well. In these final moments before the end of Battler and Beato's tale, before everything was locked away in the cat box, Bernkastel had finally moved from the audience to the stage. The witch who had hidden in the wings, unwilling to come out into the light, had shown the courage to step out onto the stage. As a friend, Lambda Delta showed that she understood Bernkastel's human emotions, which had given her this courage.
私にできることは？
The human emotion is spite, I think.
私のゲームの立ち会い人をお願い。
いいわよ。そのゲームに参加したら、エンジェを解放することを約束できるならね。
当然であるぞ。その約束がないならば、そなたの茶番に付き合う義理などない。
義理はないけど、エンジェは戻らないわよ。
ならばそなたは負け犬の烙印を数百年間のんびり楽しむこととなろうぞ。
ベアト、挑発はよせ。引けない勝負だ。
From that moment, from the moment a hostage was taken, their ability to negotiate had disappeared. However, Lambda Delta was making Bernkastel promise to release Angie in exchange for her agreeing to become an observer. Without that promise, Bernkastel would have nothing to lose. To make this final fight, Bern wanted a proper one. Lambda Delta made her agree to that promise.
無論よ、ラムダ。約束するわ。ゲームが終わったら、エンジは解放する。
So it's not even so much that Battler and Beato have to win the game. He promises regardless, okay?
私の顔に泥を塗らないでよ。私、書かされた恥は絶対に相手を後悔させるまで許さないんだから。
Lambda Delta spoke in a soft, threatening tone. However, Bernkastel laughed lightly as though she found the look on Lambda Delta's face adorable.
誓うわ。私たちの友情にかけて。
ヒュー。
Lambda Delta whistled and grinned. Apparently, this was the most reliable oath Bernkastel could utter.
わかった。
Lambda Delta nodded, looked between Battler and Bernkastel, and spoke.
絶対の魔女ラムダデルタの名において、あんたたちの勝負の立ち会い人を引き受けるわ。バトラ、ベアト、異存はないわよね。
After Battler and Beato nodded at each other, they nodded at Lambda Delta to show their determination.
嬉しいわ。やっと私たちは戦えるのね。
いずれ、お前とは戦うことになると予感していた。
She's like the final boss.
いつから？
わからない。ひょっとしたら、お前の名を知るよりも、もっと前からかもしれない。
Battler vaguely remembered her speaking to him, somewhere in an unconscious world he couldn't remember. At the time, it had sounded like she was giving him advice for his fight with Beato. But thinking back on it, it was a little different. She might have been a cat fighting from the sidelines, too scared to go out into the bright sunlight. So I had a vague premonition that eventually, we would stand opposed to each other on the game board in some way.
こいつも、プレイヤーの一人だったんだ。ゲーム版を片付ける最後の最後で。 こいつはやっと舞台に上がる勇気を持てた。俺はその勇気ある決闘の申し出を受けて立ちたい。お前の駒だったあの勇敢な女の名にかけてな。
He's like, I can't quite remember her name, but you know who I'm talking about.
私はエリカに決闘を押し付けたわ。勝ちたかった。それ以上に負けたくなかった。敗北の味を知るかもしれない恐怖が私を災難だ。そして今にして思うと、あの時のあんたたちに私は嫉妬していたんだわ。
エリカはお前の優秀な駒で俺の好敵手だった。その最後を見取らず忘却の深淵に葬ったお前を俺は許さない。
どうしろというの？エリカに謝れと？
エリカを忘却の深淵から救え。
We are gonna get to see her, perhaps.
そしてこのパーティーに
Yes! Yes, the return of Erica.
エリカを救え？
わらわもバトラに同じだ。あやつは敵方の駒なれど、その役割に忠実であったに過ぎぬ。好敵手なくしてゲームは成立せぬ。敵であることは変わらぬが、我らの大切な友人だ。
あれだけあんたたちを苦しめたのに。
俺たちはフェアに戦った。勝敗が互いの運命を分けたが、決闘を交わした俺たちはずっと友人だ。
I wonder if Erica feels the same way, would consider you a friend. I don't know.
ベルンも友人になりたいのよね。だからベルンもフェアに戦いたくなったんでしょ？
笑えば？
笑わぬ。
むしろ歓迎だ。
人質を取ってるのに？
取らなきゃ。お前は舞台に出られなかったんだろ。
There had been no need to take a hostage. Battler and Beato would have gladly accepted a final duel if Bernkastel had expressed a desire for one. It was hard to make out anything from Bernkastel's silent expression.
いいわ。
何が？
エリカを深淵
Yeah!
解放するわ。
よく決意したな。
For someone as proud as Bernkastel, forgiving the peace who had caused her defeat should have been nearly unbearable. Battler knew this, so he realized how much this bit of compassion had cost Bernkastel. Bernkastel snapped her fingers and a black cat slipped out of her shadow.
深淵の奥底に存在に放り投げたから、到着は遅れるかもしれない。
And she's probably gonna lose again. I mean, I have to hope that this ends with Battler and Beato's victory, so poor Erica to be brought back only to lose again. Hopefully Bernkastel can forgive her and, you know, let her live.
構わぬ。料理も酒も決して尽きることはないのだから。
おゆき、子猫、あの子をここに案内しなさい。
When she gave this order, the cat melted into the darkness, its bell jingling.
まさか、あんたがエリカを許すなんてね。
許す気はないわ。だからもう、私の駒じゃない。誰かが拾えば？あんただって、リオンたちを拾ったわけだし。
ベルンカステル、感謝する。
じゃあ、甘ったるい時間はこれくらいでいい？すでに私には苦痛なの。
いいぜ。ゲームはどこでする？ここで賑やかにでも、静かないつもの場所でも、どこでも構わない。
ベルンカステル教がこれほどの大勢の前に姿を現す勇気を見せたのだ。これ以上いじめることもあるまいぞ。
そうだな。ならばいつものあの場所しかないだろうぜ。
ベルン、問題ない？
ないわ。
ごめんね、パーティーのみんな。私たちはちょっと失敬するけれど、みんなは引き続き楽しんでいてちょうだい。ゼパル、フルフル、あんたたちが盛り上げてて。エリカ が来たらみんなで歓迎してあげて。
ラムダデルタ卿、仰せのままに。
では招こうぞ。我らが思考を巡らして戦うにふさわしいいつものあの部屋へ。
When Battler snapped his fingers, space shattered. Ah, yes, it's been a while since we've been here. They were now in the place where witches had once exhaustively debated, schemed, and reasoned. The witches' smoking room. Bernkastel had been invited there once again, and a final game would now begin.
ゲームの用意はあるのか？
Oh, I'm so happy. I was afraid this was going to be like a super short one, you know, the way things were going, so I'm glad for this kind of like last-minute arrival of Bernkastel to liven things up a bit and to stretch out the episode.
もちろんじっくりと作り上げた自信作のゲームよ。
ゲームマスターがベルンで、バトラとベアとはプレイヤーということね。ベルンが殺人ゲームの物語を語り、プレイヤーの2人が人間のトリックで再構築できるかを挑む、いつものゲームね。
ベルンカステル教の描くシナリオがどのようなものか
I'm interested
興味が
too.
あるぞ。
I didn't think we were going to get to do this one more time.
俺たちが青き真実で指摘し、お前が赤き真実でそれを弾く。そのルールで問題ないな。
私のゲームはもっとシンプルよ。ただの犯人当てクイズ。
Oh, well, that's... Maybe she's like, there's no point in doing another full game. We've done this so many times already. Okay, well, this is a little bit more simplistic. A lot more simplistic.
あんたたちと赤やら青やらの攻防をやるつもりは
Dang.
ないの。
I guess this will be a short game after all.
へえ、それってどんなゲーム？先に見せてもらってもいい？
Bernkastel held her palm upwards, and a fragment glowing pale blue appeared there. Lambda Delta held a hand over it and shut her eyes.
ね、簡単なゲームでしょ。
確かに。これはバトラたちがやっていた思考ゲームに比べたらはるかに単純だわ。これはもはや魔女と人間のゲームじゃない。
そうよ、これはもはや人間のゲーム。
驚いたわ。ベアトというファンタジーと戦うためにベルンが用意したゲームが純粋なミステリーだったなんてね。
説明してくれ。
極めてシンプルよ。ベルンの用意した物語を感激する。その中にはいくつかのルールがあるけれど、それに従って読み解くことで異なる真実、すなわち回答が得られるようにできているの。
つまり普通に推理小説。
I love how the big twist at the very end is instead of it being fantastical, it's just a straightforward mystery.
なるほど。となれば赤と青の真実のつばぜり合いなどもはや不要ということか。
In Beato's games, the argument was about whether it was a mystery or not. However, Bernkastel's game was a mystery. There was no need to argue that from the start.
動機もトリックも切り捨てた。あんたたちに求める答えはたった一点よ。
フーダニット。
なんと単純かつこれ以上ないほどに我らの決着にふさわしいゲームなのか。
そうだな。何の小細工もないストイックなまでにシンプルだ。
これは正真正銘の決闘であるな。
立会人として宣言するわ。このゲームは解けるようにできている。つまりあんたたちの決闘の舞台として公平であることを保証する。
I'm a little disappointed. I was all excited about, like, oh, there's gonna be, like, a fight, the duels. It's been so long, but no. But I guess it makes sense with there being so many games. We've been given so many answers. It wouldn't really make sense to have to do all that song and dance again.
ベルン、これは老婆心だけれど、本当にいいの？バトラとベアとはミステリー好きで交際を始めたのよ。私にはよくひねったシナリオだとは思えるけれど、 この二人に通用するかはちょっとわから
I
ない
feel like she might have something extra up her sleeve. I don't know.
私の精一杯のシナリオが通用しないなら、その時はその時よ。
Now she feels pretty confident about it that she's gonna beat us.
大事なのはベルンカステル教が渾身の力で描いたゲームであることだ。
そうだな。それが俺たちに通じるかどうか、ただそれだけのシンプルなゲームなんだ。ラムだ、ありがとう。お前のおかげでこの決闘が正々堂々としたものであることが証明された。
どういたしまして。私も嬉しいわ。ベルンが挑むというこの貴重な戦いに立ち会わせてもらえるなんて光栄よ。
そなたを対戦相手に迎えられ、わらはもう光栄だ。
私もよ。あんたを見下してた。勝負の場にでもせずにね。そんなそれまでの自分に虫唾が走る。だから決闘させて。
うん、受けて立とうぞ。
私が勝ったら今度こそあんたを思いっきり見下してあげる。そしてもし私がきっと忘れているに違いないあの感情を思い出させて。
うん。
ベルンカステル、お前が勝とうと負けようとも、これだけは約束する。
何？
この決闘が終わったら俺たちは友人だ。
これ以上はやめて。くすぐったくて死んでしまいそう。
Lambda clapped her hands. Pleasant sound rang out.
朗読はベルンが？それとも私が引き受けようかしら？
朗読者は不要よ。朗読の巫女は自分の口を通して物語を脚色することも歪めることもできる。たとえ私のゲームに小細工がなくとも、朗読の術でいくらでもそれをすることができる。
そうであるな。それもまたゲームマスターの権利の一つだ。
あんたたちとしたい決闘はシンプルでありたいの。だから朗読者はいらない。あなたたちが自らの目と耳で物語を読みなさい。いい
の？それじゃベルンに有利なことがなくなっちゃうじゃない。
わかった。朗読者はいらない。俺たちが自分で物語を読む。
I guess this is like Lambda Delta or Bernkastel truly being on even grounds because she's like, if I can win this without any trickery or any of my advantages, then I can truly say that I'm the winner.
朗読者がいないということは、いわゆる物語のとがきに一切の虚偽が混じらぬということか。
受けて立つぞ、ベルンカステル。何の小細工もない正真正銘のミステリーの一騎打ち。お前の正々堂々を俺たちも正面から受け止めてやる。
ありがとう。負けないわよ。私も。
それではダメであるな、ベルン教よ。
ああ、そうだな。ミステリーを突きつける魔女はそんな態度じゃダメだぜ。ああ、全然ダメだな。
It's been so long since he said that. So nostalgic. Bernkastel realized what Battler and Beato were asking for, snorted. Lambda Delta nodded at her, telling her to enjoy this final duel to the fullest.
人間と魔女が仲良く肩を並べてミステリー談義なんてバカバカしいわ。笑えるわ。あんたたちの仲良しミステリーが私の用意したミステリーに通用するかどうか試してあげる。受けてみなさい、私のミステリー。
そうでなくては奇跡の魔女ベルンカステル教の挑戦状、確かに受け取ったぞ。
さあ、勝負開始だ。ゲームマスター後ろ宮バトラー、そして無限の魔女ベアトリーチェがお相手してやる。ぶっ飛ばされても泣くんじゃねえぞ。
食らうといいわ。 これがベルンカステルのミステリー。
Bernkastel took the fragment holding the game and smashed it against the table, shattering it with a brilliant light as the game's scenario laid itself out. The curtains rose on the mystery Bernkastel had created. Alright, guys, I am very sorry. I know this is a very short episode compared to my usual ones, but not only am I working on other stuff, which is taking more time, and then work and all that stuff, but I felt this was a good place to leave it off, to end on a little bit of a cliffhanger as we begin the final game, the final true mystery, and like what a nice surprise to have Bernkastel back, to actually have a more like standard game than has been happening in this chapter. Except it is and it isn't. Like, we're having an opponent instead of it just being, like, Angie trying to figure out, you know, what she's going to do at the end of this game. We're having, like, a true, you know, opponents, like, two people fighting on different sides. But it is going to be much more straightforward, apparently. It's going to be a true mystery, so I'm very excited to see what that entails. And it's like Beato said, there should be no falsehoods in this narrative. So I guess we will find out what the story Bernkastel has created is going to be all about, and I guess it's up to me to figure out who done it. So it'll be interesting if at the end I have to choose, you know, who the person is, maybe from like a selection of characters. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm very interested to find out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I promise next week's episode will be longer, so stay tuned for that, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Kiori Makoto, SM, Revealing Storm, Tequila Mockingbird, Asborn Kennedy, Harry Gazif, iCognito, Jared Fan, Joel Oostman, and Zoran Ether.